All right, all right, all right. Oh, banger, what's up? Snow, good morning. How is everyone today? 40 seconds. Look at that. We just made it. It was so close. So close. Bitcoin with a bullish day. Another one in a row. 1, 2, 3. This would be the fourth bullish day in a row. In a row, yep. So we did not get the reversal I was looking for right here. Price reversed down. That has not happened. Instead, we are pushing previous high. I believe we should, in 4 seconds, close above that candle. That's happening right this very second. And it's over 87.42. So opened up at 86.97, hit a high of 89.16, a low of 85.88, closed it out at 88.60, a change of 162 to the upside, or 1.8%. So it is not the 88.80 that everybody wanted to close up over. However, it's significant. The close is above the 88.34 high from your previous high, right? So that's already a great sign, right? It's a bullish indicator. Still, the next test is going to be this guy right here. So sitting over at a high of what? La-di-dee, la-di-da, 89.47. So, not bad. Not bad. 89.16. So, yeah, it was pretty close to actually hitting up over that as well. So, unfortunately, the bat is invalidated because it is not a pattern, because price did not reverse, which means your D would end up going up and up and up. In which case, there are patterns that have this up to like a 127, and so on and so forth. But I believe the B, I believe this is the only pattern where the B can be an 886 or a 5. There are other patterns out there that will allow for like a 382, of course a 618, a 786, but this was a 5 on the pull, so I'll have to go back and do some looking around. But unfortunately, I know it would have been nice. But we look at what we got, and that's what we got, right? We got another bullish candle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 bullish candles in a row in this local uptrend to get back to 90.90. I'm not sure where the volume is. Is it just... Oh, I'm sorry. It's like hidden. Where is the volume at? Something. 12,000? 12,000. That can't be right. I don't know. I'm not overly worried about it. It was struggling all day, which was funny because it kind of painted like that new high, and then it just sort of like went sideways for a little bit. So if you look at the hourly chart, it was a very unimpressive move, but slow and steady wins the race, right? So, you know, you sort of like hit your level, you rolled off, right? You hit another higher high, you rolled off, you got another higher high, you rolled off, got a good push up, right? Drop down, another good push, drop down, another good push, drop down, right? So it's been very, very, very consistent, which is great, right? You love to see that in a trend. You love to see consistency so that you have something to trade off of, right? You have at least something to go back and say, all right, well, the last 14 times we got a new high and we pulled back, or we pulled back to previous structure. Same thing over here, pull back to previous. So it's like you start to expect that to happen. So when it doesn't, and there's anomalies, then you could take action. Otherwise, you know, you just buy it and then just kind of let it do its thing. So pretty cool. All right, what's up? Hello. Amazing. Yikes. That Poe really went bang. I I closed my Poe position before it went 100% in a minute. Oh, man. You know what they say, if it wasn't for no luck, you wouldn't have no luck at all. Yeah, so this was Poe. Poe did some things. There it is. So, pretty spectacular. Look at that. All the way up yonder. All the way up here. Yep. 145%. Yeah. So, yeah, sometimes you throw those stink bids out there. Sometimes you throw those stink sells out there. Not every exchange will let you even post sells that high away, or buys, for that matter, that low. Yep, look at that. Look at that, huh? It's wild. No rhyme or reason to it, right? There ain't nothing to TA about that. That's just that. So, adding on to our conversation from yesterday, it's poetry. This could be a very real indication of what we're going to see on, a dozen to 100 coins. Don't know what the time, what the place, what the pair, but this just looks like a clear indication of get the price as high as you can, sell it as much as you can, and get the hell out of Poe. Right? I mean, that's what that looks like. So for the whales that were holding the bags, that have to come off the .com exchange, might as well make a rip while you're on it, right? You got the liquidity. You still have liquidity, right? So while you have it, probably want to use it. Don't feel bad. I wasn't in either, but I know what to look for. We'll get one. I would say trust me, but I don't even trust me. Isn't that bad? That's terrible, yeah. It's terrible. It would have been cool if there was if it lined up to something, would have been pretty cool. We hit this trend, but I mean, whatever. It's so sporadic. It's just so random. What is cool though, right? What is cool? You got the low, the high, the higher low, the swing fail, right down to, we didn't really get the double bottom that we've been looking for, or the lower low than this guy, right? But then we would come up and we'd go back to our high that made it. So, we would have been in right here. But, that being said, we'd be looking for this, a 1618, which is still, I mean, dude, whatever. Still 70%. You just didn't know you were going to get it in a minute. Oh, man. Yeah. I apologize for my tiredness. I am sleeping. All right. So we talked about this as well. So, I closed my short on this because I didn't like the price action on the lower time frame, and I didn't want to get stuck holding it. So instead of taking a huge beating, I said, let me just do what I said I was going to do in the first place and confirm it, right? Because this is not confirmed. Well, it's not confirmed down, right? Because it came right back up. So looking for a close, below, so a 4 is a decent indication. But even then, I still would have gotten stuck, right? You're stuck on all this as a loss. Now on the upside, right? Look at that aqua line. Support, support, resistance, 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 resistance. Right? So there's clearly something shaking with that line. So when I looked left, I was like, all right, well, it kind of makes sense. This was an area that had, a lot of choppy struggle. So there was like some accumulation happening over here. So again, like it all like pivots off that one line, right? So like if it's not resistance, it's support. If it's not resistance, right, it's support. Support. Right? Let me come over here to the top of our green. Come back up. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Smash it. Smash it. Resistance, 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 resistance. Roll down back to our green for secondary support. Gets it. Pushes back up. Right? Close above. Close below. So it's a washout. Resistance, 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 support, 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 support. Resistance, resistance, back to the green for support. And then the green gave out. Bang. Right? So, when I was looking at that, I was like, you know what? I don't need to be in this trade. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just rushing it. I'm just rushing the trade. It's not the right way to trade. So I said, let me confirm it before I come back into it. It very well may go short, but it's also like, it's a perfect, this is where like you have that internal struggle with yourself, right? You want it to do something, right? But then you see something right in front of you that, had you been the other bias, you'd be like, oh, hell yeah. It's a perfect 382 pullback on a larger trend, right? Like, look at it. So you got this, might as well put the daily on. All right, it's still a 382, whether you're on the daily or not. All right, so you got a nice, strong move here. Good push. Consolidate pull. Awesome push. Pull. All right, all that makes sense. Okay? Now, you want it to retest previous structure high, so you want it to come down here. Right? That's the first indication that, yeah, you kind of cleared this area and you're flipping it now as now support, which used to be resistance, right? Really same thing up here. Okay? But then you measure it out and you're like, well, I hit the 382. That's pretty solid. So, I needed to let go of my short bias that it has to come down here because it doesn't. It'd be nice if it does, but it doesn't have to. Right? We can easily get another leg up. You can get another 2, 3, 4, 5 legs up and then have a major correction and you're coming back down to the same spot. So it's okay. Seen the same thing on Neo earlier where it was like, where is it? So, Neo, right, you got these mini corrections, right, inside major ones, right? So you really have like two trends here, right? You got your micro trend and your macro trend, but like inside, like this is a bigger one and this is a bigger one, right? So you draw that trend, right, is different than your internal micro pullbacks. You see that? So you have like a major pullback, right? Then you have a smaller pullback, smaller move, smaller pullback, bleeding into another major pullback, right? And then coming back up again for a minor pullback and a minor pullback. You know what I'm saying? So you can always have those little mini corrections like this because they make sense inside a local trend, right? And see how right here it lost its low, right? It's not as high. It's not as low as it's not higher than its previous low right here. So then you work it down to the next previous low. But that's on this little mini, that's like only this small thing. Where in reality, your low is right here. Your structure low is right here. So like whatever happens up here is like, who cares, right? That's not even a big deal. This is what we're looking at. You know, it also depends on the time frame you're looking at. Like this doesn't even exist on a daily. Think the daily even cares about all that little stuff? No, the daily looks like that. The daily looks a one with a pull, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 days bullish in a row, right? And now like a correction now, just looking at the daily, a correction down to 13,240 would make sense. A little push down before your next leg up, right? All that makes sense. So a lot is perspective when it comes down to the time frame that you're already looking at, the time frame that you're trading, right? And then, you know, we talk about this all the time too, right? Tunnel vision, not getting like sucked into this micro view of what's really happening out there, because you're gonna miss a lot of moves. You know what I'm saying? You're going to think like this is a catastrophic move when in reality, right, it's just a minor pullback on a micro trend that is just within a larger trend. You know, so it's really not, it's just not the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Good. Good. All right. Strat. All right, Strat is making some lows over here. Okay. Let's see what we got. A little creep show going on. Okay, so this is good minus this right here, but overall, you got your low, you got your high, your higher low, your higher high. So you've developed the trend. You pushed down for your low. You didn't quite get the double bottom, and you didn't get it lower than that one before attempting to make another high. So you got like a new swing fail over here. And now you're painting a low that is pretty low compared to this. But overall, let's see what we could do with this. Let's see. So if we take our first, line of defense, right? This is like our first dude that we want to be messing with here. That would kind of be our go line. And then if we push from low to high with our high, right? And then you got your swing fail line. Which I guess technically is that. All right, but let's see what this looks like. Now that we have this new line over here, might as well mess with it. Yeah. So I have to do that for now. Let's take this guy right here. Now we can put it over there. So we'd be looking at a few things here, because now you're looking at this level and see what kind of confluence you have there, and then probably this level. All right, something like that. Okay, so now what we're looking for is an indication of a level to which it struggles. So really, you can go from your bottom candle. Let's see where like the point of control on this is. Visible range. All right. We're just going to leave the default stuff up. I'm just looking for where the actual node is. It'd be nice if I could actually see the point of control. Let's make it really vivid. There we go. Okay. Excellent. All right, so they're painting this level right here. As far as nodes, interest, buying, selling, like that's the level to beat, right? So if that's the level to beat, and it's essentially, I mean, it's, you know, for the whole move, right, from the bottom to what we have currently, it's just about this green line, right? It's just about our middle green line. So that's cool. All right, so the setup is essentially don't allow it down south of your lower trend. All right, allow price to come up, and you really do want it to kind of like find resistance again, because now you have multiple levels to go before you get there. And then essentially you want to adjust performance when you get here and say, all right, well, if it's doing what it looks like it needs to do, then I'm buying. If you want to jump the gun, right, then you could buy basically anywhere in here. But you would have to set a super, super, super tight stop, like literally right here. All right, be invalidated the second that you made a lower low. But what do we say, right? On the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, we're looking at this. Low, high, higher low, right, higher high. So on the grand scheme of things, you're eliminating the micro part of it. All right. Now for your first like actual pullback, which is this right here, right? That would probably be your mark for targets, unless it's too small, which it very well may be. Might have to take that. But let's see here. So you'd be looking at a 1618 as your initial target. 2, 6, 3, 6, and 4, 2. Not much confluence. The 4, 2 is good. Not much confluence otherwise. Which, you know, we could see what it would look like. We took the larger move. Right, something like that on the pull. So if that was your little micro pull, yeah, really not much. Yeah, not much doing over there. Now if you take the overall move, which is much larger, so like that. All right, your 2-6 makes sense down here. 3-6. It's kind of like top of range. And let's see here, 4-2. Really not much with the 4-2. Maybe like top of this little like consolidation area. So, you know, we'll have to play around with it. But this is something to keep an eye on, right? Good job, Wallbanger. Yeah, this is something to keep an eye on. So like, you know, like, don't think about Poe, right? But this is what we've been talking about for the last few weeks, is this sort of reversal setup. There's no name for it. There's no pattern. It just is, right? It just kind of is. And for whatever it is, if we catch it early enough, right, we can catch that first initial move, right? And it looks like that first initial one always goes to the 1618. You know what I mean? So that's also another good way to measure it, right? Like, you hit it if it reacts and it smashes, right, and it stops like here, then go back and probably like that was your 1618. You know what I mean? Like it'll probably line up to something, right? It seems like it always has. So you know what I mean? If it like stops over here and you're like, oh, what the hell, man? 1618 was all of it. Well, maybe not. Maybe it was that pullback, which makes sense. We try to get the first one or the second one, which we could have done that because price did reverse again, technically, right? It reversed right here. So like, and leave both on, right? And set yourself like a margin of error here. You'd be like, all right, well, I'll put my finger on the market sell button when we start approaching here. Just in case, All right, cool. Let's see. ELF. All right. Yeah, so I think ELF we just talked about the other night, right? It's kind of doing the same thing. So you got your low, your high, your higher low, your higher high, which is just a ridiculous higher high. And then your higher low that was lower than your previous high, right? So like we want this level right here, right? We want this level right here. We want this trend. Okay, and the idea is not to break the trend, find the area of struggle, right? And then buy that as we smash over it. But you will get these, right? Like you want the confirmation, but sometimes the confirmation comes too late. Like the confirmation just did like 8%, and you're like, all right, well, I'm confirmed, and then it starts pulling back. So you do need to kind of like look at these things on lower time frames just so you get a base. So let's say like this is a good level, struggle, right? Support. So if we came on our low side and we're like, all right, on the low side over here, let's just see how that looks. You say, all right, well, it was support. Right, broke it, resistance. Okay, I'm cool with that. That's my line. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so that I'm like, I really know, like, that's where I want to go. So with price working its way there, right, then that's my go-to. Now, we do sort of want our swing fail to, like, be corrected, but this thing being like way the hell up here, like technically price reverses here, but it didn't really come up and do anything until here. So this is your actual swing fail candle, as crazy as that sounds. But because this is all considered down, that would have been a one indication that price did reverse back up. So that's your first like technical swing fail. We're not going to use that. So we'll use our next swing fail, which is a legitimate, price has reversed. It failed to make a higher high, and now it's come back down. So we're on the other side of our swing fail, which is where we want to be. Okay, like so. We're above our trend, like so. The low that came in was lower than our first low, like so. So all of that is good. Now, targets are not going to work on this pullback, right? You're just, you're not going to get much out of that. All right. So you're like, your 1618 is below our previous high candle. So that's just not going to work. Now, this might be a little too drastic, where it comes in down like that. So now your 1-6 is way the hell up here. All right. Now the other option, just not really in confluence with really much of anything. Now the other option would be to take the most local pole. That's this guy. Okay, but again, like your 1, 2, and 3 all live inside of your previous candle high. So it's like, there's really not much going on there. There's not much happening there. So targets on this one are a little rough. We could try shoot for the 2, 3, you know, of this move. So, well, I mean, yeah, clearly we would have already gotten the 2, 3. Right. So, you're going for like a 1-to-1, which of course is right here. Right, a 3-8 on your initial, which is right here. That's confluence right there. Your 2, 3 is confluence, but it's like, it's too close. 6, 1's good. That's your drop. Again, that's below here. This candle ends up being just about a 7-8-6. Of course, you got your 1-to-1, your extension, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 6. So your 1-6 extension is a historical. So I like that. That's kind of what I'd be shooting for. I sort of have to judge to see how this thing moves, but I would be okay popping in. Maybe taking a bite at the 6. Just to play it safe. You know? Probably take a little chunk out at the 6. See if there's a reaction at the top of this candle, but try to really try to hold off for the top of body right here. So your body top to your wick top. And then you might want to just, you know, bang it out up to the 1-6. You know, front run a little. Right? That's kind of what we're looking at for ELF. You know? And it's like, it's basically approaching that zone. So it's one of those doable things. All right, let's see. And Doc. Okay, Doc. Another like big spike on that second high. All right, so what do we got here? Our low, our high, our higher low, a ridiculous higher high, and then another higher. So we like developed a trend over here, and then a swing fail with a low to this guy. All right, we need it lower than this guy. Came back down for like a double bottom. This is close, but I think this one really doesn't exactly fit what we're looking. But it's close. The double bottom is nice. You know? So again, let's see. Low is 139. All right. So let's see. You know, with our high, technically drops down, price comes up, reverses. Like there's your technical swing low. Comes up again, reverses. That's your bigger drop. So probably do that. Which is good. You came back and got a retest, right? All is well. You push up. It's nice. So with this. Right, you come up here first high. And that's that level right there. Come down, push back up again. All right, this is your high. That develops the trend. Come back down low, and now you secured this level down here, support. Another push up, and this was a fail right here. So this level I like because it's been a failure point all the way up. So basically from your first high from reversal, this guy, right? That's sort of like, that's the one that's sticking out. So it's been used as support and resistance and resistance and resistance, resistance, right? Came back down a low, resistance, 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 down low again, another push up, failed again as resistance, failed again as resistance, and now today it opens on it, right? So this would be my, that is my go, that candle. You know what I'm saying? So like that would be my go. Now, again, right, for our first like major pull, we're not going to get anything off this little guy or that one. So we're going to have to go here. I'll have to do that. All right, and then you're way up north over here for your 1-6. 1-6. Yeah, okay, that's all right. All this junk in here. Now, the thing is, you might get some, get a little bit more, you might get some issues over here. You know, this was a fairly long time to be in range. This is a significant level of support, we could see, because that's what broke our thing down. Right, that's what broke that candle down. Right here. Right, so yeah, this one could be a rough ride, but we could see it clearly has no problem smashing through levels. It just, you know, has a tough time closing up over them. So yeah, Doc looks all right. Doc looks all right. I mean, it's already up, what, 3% of the day? That ain't bad. We just opened the candle. Yeah, not bad at all. Cool. All right, let's see. I don't see anything like Poe right now, but we'll definitely find one again. Awesome. I see that Doc about to cross, but see what you pointed out with the other lower candle. That matches that previous candle. See the double bottom instead of the MA cross. Yeah, so they're all unique in their own special way. But this one, this has, you know, it's viable, right? It's viable. So the big thing here is, right, that triple bottom, right? Not a triple bottom, triple higher low. Right? You had your low, you had your first low. This established your trend, right? But then you had another low. And what we've been seeing is the breakdown of this level, right? We've been seeing the breakdown. So when it comes in for that other low, it doesn't find any support and actually pushes lower than your previous one, which sort of invalidates the beginning of that trend, which makes it very interesting, right? Because then it does come back up, and for whatever reason, it gets past this little internal struggle zone and just like flies off the handle. So that's what we've been trying to capture, is this guy not staying in trend, right? And actually failing trend right away, but giving us an opportunity to take a second look at it, because now it's doing something a little bit more interesting. So that's sort of where that comes from. But, you know, again, like, they're special in their own way. This one has different unique properties than some of the other ones did. This one has a very high, which tells me, you know, who's trading this, right? They're not afraid to give you a 50% candle in a day. I'm going to let you close it, but they'll ride it up, So, when you do get this candle, assuming that that is what happens, right, you could feel pretty good that it's probably going to attempt to break this level. And maybe not go all the way to the 1.6, but it certainly has the ability to do that. Now, this I also like, right? Volume up. Volume preceding the push. So this is good. This is like a good indication that, something's inevitably about to happen. Look at this. Volume up, volume, big push, right? And then you even got a fourth day out of it. Okay, and then volume's back to garbage. Pure garbage. And then volume up again. Right here. So volume up, no big major candles. So what does that tell you? Like something's coming, something's brewing. Right here, volume's still low, so no real indication anything's happening until this guy. And you got a pretty good candle. But then the next day, more volume, bigger candle. And then the third day, even more volume and an even bigger candle. Right? So at least these guys give you a little heads up. You just have to pay attention. But they're telling you, right? Watch Doc tonight. Watch Doc. Because could be onto something here. Could be, Could be. Cool. All right, let's see here. I do see that 252 area. Is that where we're at? 252? 252. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, that whole zone is messy. This whole... Oh, jeez. Sorry. Yeah, this whole area over here. So remember that the 618 of this zone, right, was 255 on the pole. That's this. So that big move, your 618 right here, is 255. So like that, that'll probably come into play. Is Doc? Oh, one of my dog's names is Doc. Does the ears perk up every time I'm like, yo, look at Doc? And be like, why does everyone keep talking about me? Shut up. Cool. All right. Very good. Very good. We're going to cut this one short tonight. I'm sorry. I'm not 100%. I'm just not 100%. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm having some trouble breathing. But Wallbanger brought to the table a few things to look at, right? So scope those out. Strat, Elf, and Doc. Those are interesting, And if it's too risky to trade, paper trade it. Like where would my entry be? Where would my exit be? And yes, big years. And watch it over the next few days, and just sort of see what's shaking. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, the market right now is doing some interesting things, and I don't want to get into the conversation we had last night. I will, absolutely. I love talking about it, but just not at this time. It's all the SIA. What? SIA making everyone sick? I don't know what that is. I don't know, but it's, it's not a great day for me. Which is fine. It's no big deal. Better me than you. But yeah, there's the market. The market is very interesting right now. To the likes of which could have a very, very interesting few months. So, it's a great time to be in crypto. It really is. Trying to take advantage of situations as they arise is really ideal. all right? Because it's not typical trading. Or I think we're going to see some things that, well, like Poe, for instance, right? I don't think that's the last we're going to see of something like that. I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be fairly commonplace over the next 2-3 months. But we'll see. You know what I mean? That's just a theory. I got a lot of theories, so we'll see. Stratospheric aerosol injections? What? Stratospheric aerosol injections. Oh, like the planes? What do they call that stuff? Chemtrails? Are we turning into a chemtrail like podcast? Oh man. This went south real quick, which is fine. I'll talk about that stuff, just not on a public forum. They're listening. All right. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I always do. It's always a good time. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Is going to be the weekly. Don't forget. Same time, same place. Weekly candle close. It'll be an exciting one, maybe. We'll see. We're going to watch Bitcoin closely over the night. The idea on the bullish side is break 90.90, push 92. The idea on the downside is reject 90.90, right, and push down really to what was it, 80? Man, I already forgot. Low, 82-ish area. Something like that. Yeah, I think 80, 82.50 ballpark. Call it between 82 and 83. All right, so a lot has to happen in either direction. Now, of course, we could just range, right? I mean, we could literally just range for a few days. So, you know, we'll have to see. We'll certainly have to see. All right. Yes, you are very welcome. And I want to see you guys on the exchanges, and happy trading.